What worries me is you have been very much able to avoid any specificity, like no one I have ever seen before. And maybe that's a virtue, I don't know. But for us on this side, knowing where you stand on major questions of the day is really important to a vote aye. And so that's why we press and press and press.
I'm not so sure I've been playing the same game as everybody else. I'm going to have to reevaluate what game I need to be playing in the future. It's important to know where you stand before I can vote yes. I think that's true for a Republican nominee, but not so much for a Democrat. Let me tell you what Senator Leahy said. I certainly don't want you to have to lay out a test here in the abstract, which might determine what your vote or your test would be in a case you have yet to see that may well come before the Supreme Court. Now, that's the standard when there's a Democratic nominee. And when there's a Republican nominee, you've got to tell these senators that you won't get in the way of their agenda. Senator Feinstein said her goal was to find out if you're a reasonable mainstream conservative. I would tell you, Senator Feinstein, without any hesitation, this man is as mainstream as you will get. If you don't believe me, listen to the people who know him the best. 2,700 cases and being reversed once. The bottom line here is we're taking the nomination process to a place it was never intended to go by the framers of the Constitution.
Do you agree with Justice Scalia's statements that originalism means there is no protection for women or gays and lesbians under the Equal Protection Law because this was not the intent or understanding of those who drafted the 14th Amendment in 1868?
The point of originalism, textualism, whatever label you want to put on it, what a good judge always strives to do, and I think we all do, is strive to understand what the words on the page mean, not import words that come from us, but apply what you, the people's representatives, the lawmakers, have done. And so when it comes to equal protection of the laws, for example, it matters not a whit that some of the drafters of the 14th Amendment were racists, because they were, or sexist, because they were. The law they drafted promises equal protection of the laws to all persons. That's what they wrote. I think that guarantee, equal protection of the laws guarantee, the 14th Amendment, that it took a civil war for this country to win, is maybe the most radical guarantee in all of the Constitution, and it may be all of human history.
If one looks at originalism in my context, which is real life, I want your two daughters to have every opportunity they possibly could have, be treated equal, be able to control their own bodies in concert with their religion, their doctor, whatever it may be, and not be conscribed to a lesser fate because the law is interpreted in a backward sense.
My two teenage daughters, you're right. I want every opportunity for them that a young man has.
But you are pivotal in this.
And no one is looking to return us to horse and buggy days. We're trying to interpret the law faithfully.